November 2nd, the year 2024.
25.
What?
2025.
I knew. I was going to see if you all were listening. Cha-ching. Okay. No, it's on this paper, November 2nd, 2025.
Dude, we're almost in 26.
Do what?
We're almost in 26.
Almost. Okay, tell me when to get to it. Okay. Does anyone have anything to say before I read these names? Here we go. Start off with anybody. Does anybody know David and Suzanne Brantley? Oh, that's you too? Okay. They're still on each other like a cheap suit, ain't they? Hanging. Woo-wee. Okay. Nice seeing you. Paulette?
Paulette was here this morning.
Okay. We maybe ought to call her and check on her.
She was here this morning.
Oh, she was. Okay. Yeah, she was. Was I here?
Yeah.
I was going to see if you all knew. What's wrong? Is he crazy? Okay, anybody heard anything on Israel?
No.
We know they're not going anywhere, right? And I tell you what, let's keep Israel in prayer because the Lord said to. Don't forget it. We got our assembly here and other assemblies that are preaching the truth about Jesus. And pray for the ones that aren't to come around to the truth. Does anybody know my in-laws, Bob and Wanda Carson?
Well, okay.
Hello, Mom. Okay, Mama doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you told her what I said. We got Jim, Dora, and Robin, and I got Jim. I got initials by you, a new butt.
What's going on here?
Start putting warnings on our.
Oh,
What's wrong? It's the truth, isn't
this
it?
may not be appropriate for all audiences.
Yeah.
That's Jim.
TVMA.
There you go.
Okay,
He didn't get a new butt, he got more comfortable.
I'm sorry. He's got a more comfortable behind. Is this live?
We lost one follower, now we know why.
I can see. Okay, who knows the three J's? Judy. Where is Judy?
Right here.
All right.
She's
Sorry,
neon.
Judy.
How can you miss her?
I know, what's up with the neon tonight, girls?
Okay, we got David and Deborah Taylor. I see some.
Oh, we just.
You okay now?
I was talking to him.
I got a blanket in the car. You want me to get it?
No, I'm good. There's one laying over here.
Okay, pray for David and Deborah Taylor. Francis Wise and Connie Tackett. How we doing, girls? Okay. Which one of y'all is from Michigan? That's enough. Okay, good night.
Everybody raise your hand.
Okay, we got Ralph and Lambert. We got on here to pray for Ralph's ears. That's you, man.
Is it me or is this congregation physically falling apart?
You can hear me, can't you? Okay. Well, I hope you pray your ears get better. Okay, Robbie, Michelle, and Susan. Nathan, Deborah, and Sydney, and Sydney's been sick. Keep Sydney.
Well, Puny, not safe.
Oh, you're not sick?
It's just the weather.
But you're doing good? Okay. Well, I'm glad you're doing it. I'll pray you get better. Okay, we got Amber. Anybody heard anything on Amber? Keep her in prayer. We got our country, America. Pray we come back to the Lord. You know, as we well know, if you want to run from the Lord, He won't hog tie you. Goodbye. You see the judgment. Okay, we got Mo, a friend of mine. All of our family members that we can witness to and share Jesus and love them and be kind and tell them the truth. We got all the shut-ins, all the sick, all the homeless, Charlie and Katie. We got Nathan. Somebody's wife has cancer.
Nathan has cancer.
Nathan has cancer. Nathan does, okay.
He's got leukemia, right, Susan?
Yes.
He's got leukemia.
How old is he?
What's that?
What's his age? Do you know or what?
Yeah, I
about?
think he's 32.
Oh, he's a young man, then.
Yeah.
Keep him in prayer. Ruby is pregnant with twins.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, keep her in prayer. Then they got, who's Donna?
I think it's supposed to be Donna's husband.
Don Moore.
Oh, Moore, that's her husband, okay.
Don Moore's husband.
We got C.G. Moore battling cancer.
That's Donna's husband.
We got Carl and Mo Burke,
Mona Burke.
Mona Burke.
My nephew.
That's your nephew. How they doing?
Not good.
Okay, we'll keep them in prayer. We got Johnson suffering from depression.
No, Jonathan.
Jonathan suffering from depression and needs a job.
Looking for a new job.
I'm looking.
He has a job, but he's looking for a new,
Yeah,
less
okay.
stressful,
We'll keep him in prayer.
less stressful job.
Steve Meeks has cancer. Pray for him. Anybody know Steve Meeks?
He's a friend of mine.
Okay. Keep Washington DC. They were going through a lot, and let's pray for our capital. Pray that they'll turn to the Lord. Because sometimes we got to watch out about a lot of capitals. They think money will solve the problem. But
No, they don't think money will solve the problem.
what?
They think your money will solve the
Oh,
problem.
that's what it is. I had the wrong money on the wrong hip, on the wrong lip. Okay. We got Patty Puckett Health, and somebody's 11-year-old daughter, Sharon,
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has cancer.
She has cancer.
cancer. Okay, if you, whose daughter is that?
That's my friend's daughter.
Oh, your friend, okay. In Ohio?
No,
Here.
no, he's serving overseas, and his sister watches her. And she was sick, so she took her to the hospital, and they found out she had cancer.
Okay. Very good. Anybody else have anything to share?
We want to remember the health of Everett Hawkins and also Donna Ray Lewis. His health.
Everett Hawkins. And who was the other one?
Donna Ray Lewis.
Okay. Do y'all want me to read these names again?
No.
Was once enough?
Yes.
Okay, I won't do it because, you asked me not to. Okay, let's pray over this list, and I'll either, somebody can volunteer.
You go ahead.
Dora, you want to pray over this list? You the woman I've been looking, where you been all my life?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
You took some water tonight. What's going on?
Well,
Worse
I'm
than
trying to be
normal.
kind.
There you go.
What? Go ahead, Dora.
You know who they are, you know the situation, dear Lord. We know you are the great physician and the all-powerful, and you can work your will, Lord, according to you, to the way you want it. We just ask that you be with them, Lord. Uplift them, Lord, and I pray that if they don't know you, they'll come to know you. Just be with us as we get into this here lesson, Lord, and help us to get any message you want us to for all that you do for us, Lord, and just be with us in the name.
Thank you, sister. See you later. See you later, bro. You all want me to say anything else? I've said enough.
You said
Yes,
no.
I said enough.
Come sit down, kid.
Well, I said, slap it if I get out of hand.
I will.
Here's a knife. Help me with it.
All right, we're on Ezekiel 23, the two ladies. In quotes, ladies. Ladies are a nightmare.
Trying to love two women like a ball and chain.
Mine says two immoral cities.
What'd you say, Deborah?
I said, my heading says the two immoral sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Moral
Yeah,
sisters.
that's it.
They are sisters, yes. One sister's worse than the other sister. That's what it's about, the two ladies, there's, two immoral sisters, however you want to call it, titles. So, somebody like to read, number 1 for us? I'll get you, Judy. You want to do the first one?
Sure. It says, so in verse 4, the names, I do not know how to say this lady, Holy and Holaba, is that right?
Hold on, close on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Are used to represent Samaria and Jerusalem. What do these two names mean and why are they used?
Okay, so,
The first one I said her name means tent or tabernacle, and the other one's my tent is her. So that's what I put, that's what I found.
okay.
I found them, but I probably am wrong on it.
What do you use a tent for?
They use the tent to worship, right? The
Say
the
tent to worship.
tabernacle, did they use it to worship?
This is not that kind of a tent.
Oh, well, I don't know.
What do you use a tent for? What do you use a tent for?
To shower.
Camping, right?
Shower.
You go out and what are you doing there? You sleep in it, right? Right, so that's what you use a tent. This is her tent. She's gonna go in there and, what's her name? Tamar? What's her name? Judah's Judah's son's daughter.
Daughter-in-law.
The son's daughter, his son died, but Tamar needed a husband, or she needed, and he didn't give her one, so she had her own tent. She had dressed up like a little whore and stepping out there and waiting for Judah to come by, gave him a wink or a shake. I don't know what she did, but he came into her and went in that tent with her. I mean, he went in that tent. I mean, that's what the tent was used for, fornicating. I mean, that's what they used it for, fornicating.
How'd she move it? How'd she move it?
So it's like,
Hey, Judy,
this,
it's your man.
You see that move?
but you're right. You're right thinking of a temple though, but it's like, literally, I mean, you can be a whore, physically with somebody. And then I think about Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phineas.
Well, when
They committed physical whoredom with somebody right in the temple, I mean, right in the doorway of the temple. Or you can worship another god right there against, spiritually commit adultery against God right there in the temple.
Well, they were
In
doing
the
that,
home.
wouldn't they? Like
Oh,
a
yeah,
couple chapters
yeah,
ago,
yeah,
they were.
They were doing both. They were doing both. Even the high priests were doing this kind of stuff, or the priests.
Oh, no.
They're just, and it started way back there, and the different ones did it. I mean, this is pretty bad. But it's like, so Samaria is called her tent. It's like idolatrous sanctuaries where they go in there and they do commit whoredom against God, basically. And her sister's, her tent's like inside of her sister's tent, doing just the worst things. Oh, how can it be even worse? I can go inside her tent and then do it too. Set up my own tent inside of her tent. I mean, like, I don't know, something like that. That's why I got to get that imagery from bringing this. But what does a whole lot mean? What does it represent besides the tent? What cities it represent?
Samaria,
Samaria, yeah, it's in the question, Samaria, right? A whole lot of Samaria, what's a whole about?
Jerusalem.
We read about who else being a whore, pretty much, or
The little sister.
the big sister and the little sister. We read about this before, but who are we talking about? Who was Israel and Judah, right? Now we're going to the cities. This is where the capitals are, where they're actually got the temples. We're coming home, we're zooming in a little bit more. These guys are prostitutes. They're prostituting against God. Against God,
Right.
They're zoning in on Samaria, the capital, pretty much of the northern tribes, and Jerusalem, the capital of the southern tribes. You got Samaria and you got Jerusalem or Judah. Samaria for, it's like, that is the capital, but that's the capital of Israel, the northern tribes. So it's got, number 2, let's see here.
Just so
Yeah.
we know, this goes along with what we studied several months back. When the tribes separated, you had the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Up north, you had the actual temple sanctuary of Jerusalem, okay? Then you had a place called Bethel, and that's where they had the golden calf,
Yeah.
is at Bethel. So there's the difference between my tent, Aholah, which they're setting up their own tent of worship, and then you have Aholah, which is the tent of God, the actual.
My tent.
So you have the deceitful, false tent, a place of worship, and then you have the true one, which in their instance, they were desecrating both.
Or no.
So the true tent is really in Jerusalem. It's supposed to be. Yeah, but it's not supposed to be a tent of prostitution. It's of worship, like you were saying. They changed it around. Let's see here. Francis, you want to do number 2 for us?
Verses 5 through 8 speak of Aholah, Samaria, doting herself on her Assyrian lovers and using the whoredoms she brought from Egypt. What are these 2 things God is speaking of?
Okay. 5 through 8. I'll go ahead and read that. So Aholah played the harlot when she was mine, and she doted on her lovers, on the Assyrians, her neighbors, which were clothed with blue, captains and rulers, all of them desirable young men, horsemen riding upon horses. Thus she committed her whoredoms with them, with all them that were chosen men of Syria, and with all whom she doted, with all their idols she defiled herself. This is through 8, yeah. Neither left she her whoredoms brought from Egypt, for in her youth they lay with her, and they bruised the breast of her virginity and poured their whoredom upon her. So it's mixing the physical being a whore, and spiritually being a whore.
Yeah.
And they kind of like go back and forth a little bit, but they're talking about the same thing. I mean, you could commit, the priest, he could physically commit whoredom, but sleeping with a prostitute and getting naked right there in the temple, and he's doing it against his wife. He's being a whore against his wife. And he's doing it against God, spiritually against God. You can cheat on God multiple ways. Be a whore, and that's what they were doing. But it says, and doing it with idols, bringing in Moloch. Go ahead and sacrifice to Moloch, your kids to Moloch, and then go in the temple and worship God. That might not be in the same house, so to speak, but they bring their idols with them. And where do they get these idols from? Where do they get the ideal from all these idols? Where did it start from? 400 years in Egypt. Right. They worshiped all kinds of stuff. And they know what they worshiped, and there were little idols for everything in Egypt, and they remembered a lot of them with her. They probably brought some of them with them. They started worshiping who Egypt worshiped. They started worshiping who Assyria worshiped. Then he's seen the Babylonians. Oh, look at them pretty boys. Let's start worshiping whoever they worship. They robbed from their best. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, it'd be no different than women today have an abortion and then go to church and pretend like she's fine.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, girl.
Everything's good. Yeah. It's like you just keep on doing.
But this language, even in the English, is very graphic.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you understand what's really going on here. The Bible is speaking, of course, spiritually, not that it doesn't apply physically, of what they were doing. You remember when Jesus caught the Pharisees brought the woman caught in the very act of adultery? You do understand the implication of that, right? She came with the smell and possibly the semen of men on her when they brought her, okay? So when they bring her with all her shame. This is the same type of language he's using here. The Message says it like this: Aholah started whoring while she was still mine. She lusted after Assyrian as lovers, military men, smartly uniformed in blue, ambassadors and governors, good-looking young men mounted on fine horses. Her lust was unrestrained. She was a whore to the Assyrian elite. She compounded her filth with the idols of those to whom she gave herself in lust. She never slowed down. The whoring she began while young in Egypt, she continued, sleeping with men who played with her breasts and spent their lust on her. That spent their lust on her is just what you think a man would do. That's what that is. So it's using some exceptionally graphic language to detail what they're doing. And I don't want, I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, it is what the Bible says, and we need to understand just how graphic God is being with this. He's trying to help them understand just how nasty they're being.
And again, these are like physical descriptions, but they're doing it spiritually with idols as well against God. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the, the comparison. So it's like, keeps on going. Connie, you want to read number 3 for us?
Okay. Verse 9. Reading and tense, as God gave her over to her lovers, the Assyrians, and they discovered her nakedness. King James Version. Many times in the Bible, the idea of being naked is used. Hebrews 4, chapter 4, verse 13, Revelation 16, verse 15, Revelation 17, verse 16. What does this mean?
Well, we preached on this morning. Out of the blue. Yeah. But it's like being naked against, to God or to everybody else. That's what he's talking about at the apartments. It's like God gave over to her lovers, the Assyrians, and they discovered her nakedness. Somebody discovers you're physically naked. They discover you're naked because you're messing around with somebody that ain't your husband. So I'm thinking of the husband coming in and finding them naked, messing around with somebody else. You know what I mean? That's what the picture I get. Finds you naked. Why in the world are you naked with somebody else? God is the husband. Israel is supposed to be his bride, his people. And they are playing the whore, right? They're naked. And he's going to show everybody their nakedness too. They're worshiping all these idols. God's going to let them see. They're worshiping these idols. Let their idols save them now. Because they're going down. They're going down. With all these, the plagues or with the sword or with the pestilence, whatever it is, they're going down. And he is going to judge them. He's tired of it. But it says, what verses was that? 9 and 10. Let me read them. Verse 9 says, wherefore I have delivered her into the hand of her lovers, into the hand of the Syrians, upon whom she doted. Oh, you lusting after that big boy, you're going to get him. And what do? They take her. They take her to Syria, and they make her her slave. Make them her slave, buddy. It's like they even take her out. And it's like you got some of them go back, and all them northern tribes, they mix with the Syrians. They mix, we get the modern day Samaritans, or at that time. That's where you get a lot of those people from, because they were like mixed people, because they mixed with the Assyrians. They weren't, full-blooded Jewish people anymore. It's like, you want them? You got them. You can have them. They did it physically. They did it spiritually. They were the whore against God. He delivered them. He delivered them into the hands of their lovers. You want them so bad. You want that boy so bad. You got him. You got him. He's yours. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's what happens to people. I mean, God gives you what you want, but then God turns you over to reprobate mind. I mean, it's like that's scary. I don't ever, hope I don't ever see anybody go to that point. That's pretty scary. But these discovered her nakedness. They took her sons and her daughters and slew her with the sword. She became famous among women, for they had executed judgment upon her. She's going to get judged. She's going to get judged. They discovered that she's just a whore. It's like, that's what happens. When you play the whore, and then people say, oh, you're just a whore afterwards. And they treat you like dirt. You know what I mean? brought the sword to them, whatever. It's like, that's not good. That's not good. And you see physically young women do that today. What are you doing? Don't be sleeping with them. They're just using you. You know, it's like, they still do it. They're playing the whore, and then they treat them like trash afterwards. You know, why do you do that? Why did Israel do this? It's stupid. God, you can have a better husband or a better father than God, right? Can't get no better than that, but we mess up. So it's a shame. All right. Brother Bob, go ahead and read number 4 for us.
Number 4. So in verse 7,
Verse 11.
verse 7, Ahora turns off worse than her older sister in her evil. So what is this talking about, and why is it repeated so in verses 11?
So much in Scripture.
Well, in verse 11, I said, I'm sorry,
That's right.
sorry where I pronounced that.
Okay.
Verse 11 says, and when her sister Ahora saw this, she was more corrupt in her moderate love than she, and in her whoredoms more than her sister in her whoredoms.
Okay, over and over and over again. I mean, and I'm telling you what, if this don't jump out at you when you start reading Revelations and judging of the big whore, the great whore. I mean, the whore. I mean, over and over again. Who's the whore? Israel's the whore. God's people is the whore. Judah is the whore. Christians today are the whore. I believe that. You know, we're the whore. God is our Father. Jesus Christ is our bride. I mean, we are the bride of Christ. We are the bride of Jesus. And we are playing the whore. It's like over and over again. You got a sister, your younger sister's playing the whore. What's the older sister do? The same thing, or even more so. You big dummy. Don't, you know, it's like, it's crazy.
You know, I've observed this is about as bad in our day, but it's kept more undercover than it was open then. And I can recall when I was in Europe, traveling around different cities and different countries. And I went to Paris. I got in Paris, France, late Saturday night. So I got me a motel and for the night. And on Sunday morning, I got up. Well, I thought, I'll go do sightseeing. And I got up and I went out after breakfast and went out and walked 1 block. And every other door, there was a whore in the doorway enticing me to come in. So it was more open then in some countries than it is here in the United States. But we've got some big cities here in the United States.
Does the same thing. Yeah.
Pretty serious.
Yep. And you got to go to California.
Yeah,
or New York. Yeah.
Well, let's bring it, you've already said it, but let's make sure we understand. We've got whorehouses in this town, they're called churches.
Right.
They're called churches.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Right.
Is what should have been used as a place of worship, holiness, and purity has been turned into a brothel.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And people, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you think about it, you know,
Go next door and get their idols. Go ahead and get their big trunk or treat stuff. Bring it here so the kids will come here.
There you go.
Right? We need the kids in here. We need more kids, right? We just got to feed them candy. Get some Easter bunnies and whatever, you know, this or that. You know, it's like, it is scary. It is scary. And are these kids today learning about Jesus Christ?
No, they are
No.
not.
They are being fed lies.
Yes.
And then they find out everything's a lie. Their parents are telling them. Then they don't believe anything. You know, it's like it's a shame. I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. And it's like, some kids want to know the truth, and then they get kind of upset. At certain ages, they get upset. And nobody's perfect, I know, but it's like, we need to start honing in on the truth and not bringing idols into the church. But that's what they did. The what's her name? Ahola, that she had idols with Assyria. And what's Ahola do? She goes up to Syria, gets their idols, and brings them back and puts them in the temple of God in Jerusalem. That's making it worse, bringing it into God's temple, God's house. But that's what they did. It keeps on getting worse and worse. It's like, why does it repeat it so much in Scripture? Why does God keep on repeating stuff?
Get us to wake up.
Say it again, Dave.
Get us to wake up.
Get to wake up, nobody's learning. Well, Moses, how many times does he got to tell us the 10 Commandments? How many times does God got to do it? He tells him, he breaks them, or he tells him, then he goes up there, God writes it down for him, he breaks it down, breaks it, has to go back up there again, get it again, bring it down, give it to them. They still break them, still break the commandments, and they got to, 40 years later, after everybody's dead, he's got to go over them again. He's got to go over them again. And it's like, and I think about that. Judy and I seen Back to the Future. Guess when that came out? 40 years ago. 40 years ago. How long were the Israelites, wandering around? 40 years. 40 years. And I quizzed it helped me today, actually. I quizzed our Bible school class this morning. It's like, and young kids, younger people, like, yeah, who knows anything about Back to the Future? Everybody knew it. Everybody knew it. It's like, we weren't alive back then. How'd you know about it? I got the video, or I've seen Dad's video, or whatever. Everybody's seen all that. Do you know anything about Jesus? Do you know anything about these stories in the Bible? No, we weren't told that. What did you learn the last 40 years, or whatever? What is? You better be teaching kids about the Bible. Man, you know what I mean? It's like they know everything else that happened 40 years ago, but they don't know nothing about the Bible. You know what I mean? That's a shame. We fill kids' heads with all this garbage and not teach them about the Bible. I'm not saying that entertainment's bad, but it's like we need to learn about the Bible. That should be priority one, right? We teach kids all kinds of stuff. They got movies for everything now. But do they ever learn anything about Jesus?
Nope.
You know what I mean? That's what's scary. We've got to teach them. We got to teach them. So Jerusalem, they come back with idols from Assyria. Then what do on top of that? They get the idols from Assyria. They get the idols from Assyria, and they're going to get idols from who else? Who's going to wipe them out? Judah. Judah's going to get them from who?
Syrians.
From the Syrians, and then who else later on?
Babylon.
There we go, Babylon, right? The Babylonians. They keep on getting worse and worse. I'm going to take them from the Assyrians, I'm going to take them from the Babylonians.
Yep.
They are going to get worse. Even going to get worse. And they worship their gods, and there a lot of them are the same gods. It's troubling. It's troubling. Okay, number 5. Robin, you want to do that one for us?
Verse 13 says, they both took one away. What way did they take?
Okay. Verse 14 says, then I saw that she was defiled, that they, both of them, both sisters, took both one way. What was the way the sisters took?
They took the way of sin, like prostitution.
Took the way of sin, right? They took the way of idolatry against God, right?
Yep.
That's the way they went.
That's what it is.
You think they will learn, especially after one goes into captivity, gets conquered, goes into captivity. Oh, let's do the same thing with the Syria and with Babylonian.
Yep.
They don't learn. They don't learn. All righty. Good to see you, Charles. Sandy, you want to do number 7 for us?
Number 6.
Number 7.
Number 6.
Oh, that's skip one, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, number 6.
What is verse 17 referring
Okay, go ahead and read it for us first.
to? So they came and committed adultery with her, defiling her in the bed of love. After being defiled, however, she rejected them in disgust.
Okay, the King James says, and the Babylonians came to her bed, into the bed of love. Came to her into the bed of love. Oh, that's sweet. And they defiled her with their whoredom. She was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. It's like, what's 17 referring to? Who came to who and what happened? Babylonians, right? They came to
Israel.
to Judah, right? Came to her, came to the temple, into the bed. They're prostituting themselves in the temple. They're prostituting them as a nation. They came to her into the bed of love, and they defiled her with their whoredoms. And she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. And it's like, then she's like, either she come, she's and it's like she is polluted with them, and her, and she's alienated at the same time. It's like,
Well, she was supposed to go to Babel. That's what God wanted them to do. She was supposed to give in. That's what God
go in
Yeah.
as captives.
Go in as captives,
Yeah.
right? Well, why didn't she? Well, when she rebelled, she ended up taking another lover called Egypt. And you find that in Ezekiel, Jeremiah, and 2 Kings.
Yeah.
And so she turned on God and what God wanted her to do. She was supposed to go to Babylonia, and she wouldn't go, so she decided to take a new lover, one by the name of Egypt, to help her not have to worry about the Babylonians. And that's what she ended up doing. All in defiance to what God called her to do in the first place. That's why they hated Jeremiah and different ones, because these prophets were crying out, go to Babylonia, submit yourself to them. And they're like, I don't think so. I'm not doing that. They would go in and they would conquer a people, but instead of just annihilating them and wiping them out, they would assimilate them into the culture, and so they would become burden bearers or taxpayers pretty much, and they would leave people in charge. Well, they did this twice, and both times Jerusalem and Judah all rebelled against Babylon. So finally, the third time Babylon comes in, they said, we're done. And they burned her to the ground. And the last time she tried it was with Egypt. Every time you turn around, instead of them giving in to what God wanted to do, they were all finding another lover. They did it with the Assyrians. They did it with Egypt. They were constantly trying to find any other way other than God's way. And I know that doesn't sound familiar to any Christian in this room. That Christians would ever try to find any other way other than God's way. And then wonder why it doesn't work out. Why the consequences end up turning on our heads.
Amen.
So they use the word alienated in verse 17 and in verse 18. And verse 18 says, that she discovered her whoredoms and discovered her nakedness. Then my mind was alienated from her, like as my mind was alienated from her sister. And it's like, who's the she? Who's the my? It's like, who are we talking about being alienated from who? So she is who? So she discovered her whoredoms.
I thought it was talking about Judah.
Judah.
Yeah.
Judah
Being alienated from God.
alienated from God. Good. And it's like, and like as my mind was alienated from her sister, God. And that's the question. That says, ask him the next one. It says, I think it is. Oh yeah, number 7. What is the literal meaning of the term alienated in verse 18? Because it kind of goes with 17 as well. And who or what was alienated from whom, with, or what? What's alienated means?
Being isolated or estranged.
Estranged.
Not in relationship.
If you're alienated from somebody, you're cut off from seeing them. You're cut off. You're not able to see them anymore. God cuts them off from seeing him, from being his God, from being their God. You know, they're not, he's not going, he's not going to listen to them anymore. That's pretty bad. When God doesn't listen to you and you can't call out to God. You call out to your idols, and you call out to a piece of wood or a rock. How's that going to help you? It's like, and I think back, you know, Elijah, you know, it's like, go ahead, call out to your gods, call out to your gods. Oh, there's a dumb piece of wood or a rock or whatever it is. It's like, they ain't gonna do anything. Go ahead, call louder. You know, go ahead and cut yourself, whatever. It's like, that's what God does to these people. You know, he cuts them off from him being their God. Kind of sad. It's like they're discovered. Judah's discovered in God's mind. You know, God's mind was alienated from her. It's not his people anymore. Just like he did with his sister, he turned away from them. They're gonna feel that from God, and they're gonna be turned over to Samaria and other places. Is that true? Oh.
Let's call it.
So they're alienated from God, right? They're alienated from God. Judah follows the same thing Samaria did, or Israel did. Same thing. And it just keeps on going. And it's like, thank God does something the second time, you know, because I don't learn, I'm slow. But he does it over and over and over again with these guys. Over and over again. It's like, and they still don't get it, you know what I mean? And then they finally, after some hard spankings, they finally get a clue. You don't touch the stove. You know what I mean? Or whatever. These guys lose everything. I mean, they're lovers. What do their lovers do to them? They take their money, they take their gold, they take their silver, they take their clothes, everything. Burn down their houses, burn down their sanctuaries, whatever. I mean, they give it right back. I mean, you know, they give it back to them. That's their lovers. That's their lovers. How do they treat them? You know, run them in the ground. So, number 8, let's see here. Robin, did you want to read? Yeah, you do.
I can do it again.
Go ahead and do 8. Do 8 for us. I'm sorry.
The term doted is used several times in the King James throughout this chapter. What does it mean?
Doted.
I don't know what that means.
You know what that means?
Well,
That,
when you dote after something, don't you lust after it?
Yeah.
You know, you're like, I'm doting after him, and he is all of that. It's
I mean,
kind of lust after.
grandparents kind of,
Yeah,
they make over their kids. This is like a little bit more than that, you know what I mean? And then I hear people say it, use that term that way. They're doting over their grandkids or whatever. It's like, no, this is like more sexual or more whatever, you know, more, they're lusting after them. Yeah, I think you're right. Infatuated, and they do things for them and do something special, but they're really thinking about, you know,
This chapter,
getting into bed with
this
it. you know.
chapter is exceptionally graphic.
Graphic.
It really is.
Yeah.
And so I make no apology